I gave him money every single day for months. Nothing changed. So I offered him job. He looked at me for a long time, then said, "No." That one word changed how I think about money forever.
Hey, hey, future millionaires! If you are new here, subscribe right now because today's story will make you rethink every kind act you have ever done with your money. Welcome back to Silent Money Talks. I am Gloria.
And I am Rahul. Gloria, I think I have made the same mistake again.
Again? Okay, so it was not the credit card this time. What was it?
This time, it was a beggar.
A beggar.
Yes,
Rahul, you have the most expensive conscience I have ever met.
that is not funny.
Really, because from where I am looking at, it seems little funny. Okay, so carry on.
Okay, every morning I passed the same road, same tea stall, same traffic, same corner. And there were always the same man sitting there. He never shouted, he never chased anyone, he just sat quietly with his hands open. That was all.
This was your mistake?
No, the next day I gave him $5, then $10, sometimes cash and sometimes food.
It's like all you were doing, Netflix and chill.
What do you mean by that?
You became his subscription plan.
I did not think of it like that.
Well, you were monthly, reliable, auto-renewing.
Hey. Okay, stop now. The point is, every time I gave him something, I felt something inside me soften. I felt lighter.
Lighter. Because of him?
I don't think so. That is the strange part. Lighter because of me only. I thought maybe I was finally being kind in a real way. I thought maybe I was becoming a better person.
And that feeling pulled you back every day.
Yes, it felt important. It felt like I was balancing something inside myself.
That is where trouble begins.
It was like I was paying a tiny emotional tax.
Congratulations. You invented guilt-based spending.
That sounds like a real bank product.
Please do not give our audience your extraordinary ideas. Okay, so you kept giving every day. Did you ever stop and ask what actually changed for him?
No, I just kept going. Days turned into weeks, weeks turned into months. $2 become 5, then become 10, sometimes even $20. And then one day, I actually stopped and looked properly. He was still there, same place, same posture, same open hand. Nothing had changed.
How did that make you feel?
Honestly, first I felt disappointed, then confused, then I felt guilty for even feeling disappointed because I had started to feel responsible for him. Not just kind, responsible. Like my money should have changed something by now.
So what did you do after that?
I gave more.
Of course you did.
I thought maybe I was not giving enough. Maybe I was being cheap. Maybe a good person would have given more.
Rahul, this is something one usually reads in textbooks.
Textbooks? What do you mean by that?
First you give because it feels good. Then you give because it removes guilt. And then you give because stopping starts to feel cruel. Soon, you are not helping with clarity anymore. You are helping from pressure.
Oh, that is exactly what happened. At first, it felt like I was choosing. Later, it felt like I had to give. Like if I stopped, I was a bad person. And if I kept giving without thinking, I was being foolish. So, either way, I felt trapped.
That is the danger. When generosity stops being a choice and becomes a burden, something has gone wrong.
So, my kindness failed for overtime?
And your brain approved it without understanding the book.
That sounds exactly like my credit card situation.
It is exactly like your credit card situation. Rahul, your entire financial life is one long emotional decision, wearing a responsible disguise.
Whoa. Okay, that one really hurt.
Very good. Hurt is where self-realization and learning lives.
God, you are like a dentist who is also a life coach.
I prefer financial therapist, but yes, I do understand critical aspects of life. Let me tell you what was actually happening here, because it was not just about the beggar. With your credit card, you were not only buying things, you were buying relief, comfort, status, a feeling.
That is painfully accurate.
And with the beggar, you were not only giving money, you were buying the feeling of being a good person.
Oh, I do I do not like hearing that.
I know, but honesty is uncomfortable when it is true. There is nothing wrong with kindness, but kindness without clarity can become a habit, and habits without direction can become damage.
So you are saying helping is not the problem?
I'm just saying, helping blindly is the problem.
Will you please bother to elaborate?
See, intention feels good, but the impact changes life.
That is a very uncomfortable sentence.
I knew that you will have difficulty in understanding. Please, write it down.
I am already regretting this episode.
Let me make it simple. There are 3 types of help. First, survival help. Food, water, emergency support. You give it because someone needs it right now. Second, support help. Direction, guidance, a push forward. You give it because someone needs momentum. Third, growth help. A skill, a path, an opportunity. You give it because someone needs a door, not just a meal.
And I was only ever doing the first one?
Yes, and the first one is not bad, but if you stop there forever, you are not changing anything. You are only pausing the problem.
That is painful to hear.
Painful? Yes. Useful? Also yes.
You always make the truth sounds like a dentist appointment.
Because it is better to clean the problem than to pretend it is not there.
Do you give this speech to everyone or am I your special project?
You are my most expensive project.
I will add that to my list of achievements. So after all of this thinking, I tried something different. The next morning, I bought food instead of giving cash. He looked at me. His face changed a little. Not happy, not angry, just different.
And what did that do to you?
It made me uncomfortable because I expected gratitude. I expected a smile, maybe even a blessing. But he did not react the way I wanted.
That reaction was inevitable.
You are right. And then I realized something ugly in that moment. Maybe I had not only been giving to help him, Maybe I had also been giving to feel appreciated.
That is an honest thing to admit.
I did not like it.
Most honest realization are not comfortable.
Then I asked if he wanted work. There was a shop nearby. I told him they needed help carrying boxes. Nothing big, just something regular.
And
And again, he looked at me for a long time. Then he said, "No,
just no?
just no." And that one word hit me harder than all the money I had been giving. Because I had assumed so many things. I assumed money should have been enough. I assumed help should look the same for everyone. I assumed every person wants the same situation.
And that is where people get it wrong. Human beings are not identical. Poverty is not identical. Dignity is not identical.
Yeah, he had his own reality, his own reasons, his own story that I knew nothing about.
Of course. And none of that was yours to fix without understanding it first.
So my intentions and my impact were completely different things.
Exactly. You felt like a helper, but you were making yourself feel better, more than you were changing anything.
That is a terrible sentence to agree with.
And yet, here you are, agreeing.
Against my will.
That is how real learning works. It does not ask for your permission.
So basically, I thought I was the hero. But I was writing someone else's story without asking them how it should go.
You were not writing it wrong. You were improvising with someone else's life.
Oh, that sounds even worse.
Well, it's a different perspective.
Great. Thank you. That day, I walked away feeling terrible. Not because I stopped helping, but because I realized I had been confusing emotion with effectiveness, confusing guilt with generosity, confusing relief with real help.
Okay, you realized that on your own. That's amazing.
Yeah, but it is also a painful one because I had tied my entire self image to the act of giving. I wanted to see myself as the kind of person who helps. So I kept helping in the same way, even when it was no longer useful.
You know what? That happens with money all the time. People do what feels morally correct in the moment. Then they avoid asking whether it actually creates progress.
So my heart was loud and my brain was on a very long lunch break.
A very expensive lunch break.
Now I am going to start charging my emotions rent.
Finally, some financial thinking.
Do you think my emotions will pay on time?
Your emotions would spend the rent money on someone sitting at a corner.
Okay, fair. That is completely fair.
Okay, let us summarize the reasoning for our friends. The real lesson from the credit card was, do not buy feelings with borrowed money. The real lesson from this story is, do not give money to buy a feeling either.
So the problem is never the credit card and never the beggar.
Correct. The problem is always whether your money decisions are based on awareness or just on emotions.
Whoa! So give me and my audience the thumb rule for today's conversation.
It is actually quite simple. Do not just give money, give a path.
And if I cannot give a path,
Then give relief carefully, but do not confuse relief with change.
what does what does giving carefully even look like?
Rahul, it looks like asking one simple question before you give. Will this help the situation, or will this only help how I feel about the situation?
Oh, that question would have saved me 3 months of daily confusion.
and some significant rupees.
Gloria, let us not count those.
Rahul, good money helps, but better money changes.
I really want to print that somewhere.
Print it on your wallet, Rahul, so your hand sees it before it opens.
My wallet already has enough going on. It does not need any motivation.
Still, your wallet needs all the help it can get, Rahul.
So, people, if you are listening right now, ask yourself this. Is there a place in your life where you are giving money not because it is changing something, but because it makes you feel better? It could be a person, it could be a subscription you never use, like Netflix or something else. It could be a purchase you make every time you feel stressed. The question is not whether you are giving, the question is why. Right, Gloria?
That is the right question. Because kindness is good, but kindness without thought can become a pattern that helps nobody in the long run, including you.
Yeah, I used to believe giving money automatically made me a better person. Now I understand that better money is not just about giving, it is about knowing why you are giving.
If this episode made you think differently, click like and subscribe to Silent Money Talks. Share it with your friends and family too, especially the ones who want to understand money in a practical way.
We will keep telling these beautiful stories about money
And we will keep making them simple.
because money is not just numbers,
It is decisions.
and decisions shape lives. You know that.
Next episode, we talk about one small expense that looks completely harmless.
Whoa, but I have to tell you, it quietly destroys your budget every single month.
We will see you in the next video.
And until then, think before you give.
Think before you spend.
And think before you let emotion drive the money.
That is how money becomes clearer.
And life becomes calmer.